Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Driftless Pony Club.
What? Driftless Pony Club. You said it too fast.
When the kids go to sleep.
This is a great intro song, by the way.
TERABRITE.
Thank you.
Yeah, hit it, girl.
When the kids go to sleep.
I can't really hear myself.
Turn yourself
guys
up in the
hear me?
microphone, said Eminem.
I can hear you.
Test,
number
test,
2?
good. As long as you guys can hear
Can
me.
you guys hear me?
I want to turn mine up really loud.
Strangers in
Test.
the night.
There we go.
Exchanging glances. Strangers.
Did you hear that?
Check out me
I
and
did.
Wheezy's a cappella group that we started.
Wandering.
Just now.
It's
30
called-
seconds
It's
ago.
called Beard Power. It's
Yeah.
called Beard to the Third Power.
Yes, let's do it. Let's make an album, Jay.
We should. Welcome to the podcast, episode 94 of WTKGTS When the Kids Go to Sleep, right here at Maker Studios in Los Angeles, California. My voice is in sexy mode.
It totally is.
It
babe.
is.
I forgot to turn off the sexy mode this morning.
Sound like a man.
Man.
Yeah.
Makes me want to talk like this, too.
Well,
Just gotta flip on the sexy switch.
Let me flip your sexy switch. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off.
Oh, that was the Pillsbury Doughboy switch.
That's so mean.
I always get those mixed up. All right, here we are in studio after a crazy weekend.
We have a special guest with us. None other than the Wheezy waiter.
Wheezy.
Hello.
Wheezy
Hello.
waiter.
Can you guys edit in some applause later for that? Or-
Nick.
Applause. Thank you.
Oh, right now.
To our
Nice.
studio audience.
Wow.
What do you mean? We have a live studio audience. Why would we need to edit up?
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I just didn't think they were going to applaud, but they did.
Thanks
Yeah.
to all the studio audience wearing
Yeah.
your Beard Lovers t-shirts
Yeah.
today.
Mhm.
You guys are great.
Why'd you let that guy in without a shirt on? That was
Well, he has the tattoo of the beard on his chest.
okay. Yeah.
So Craig's in town. He texted me a couple days ago. I feel bad because it was like you texted me and then I texted you back. And then I didn't text you back for 48 hours.
Yeah, and I couldn't text you back because of all the tears
There was
that were falling onto my
streaming
phone.
onto your phone.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in town? What's your specific reason?
I have a bunch of reasons I'm in town.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is I'm going to be. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to talk about a lot of it,
Oh,
but
really?
something with water.org that you're a part of that.
Me too. Yeah.
Are we
you
allowed to
shooting
talk
on-
about it?
When are we shooting that? Are we shooting the same day?
Friday.
With
Yeah. With super secret.
Can we not say his
special.
name?
I don't know. I don't know.
It starts. His name rhymes with cat flamin'.
Schmooby schmoo. Stop.
I didn't say
Blah, blah, blah.
anything. I didn't
Blah,
say
blah, blah, blah,
anything.
blah, blah.
But you've done stuff with water.org before.
I have. I went to India.
India. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
saw
goodness,
those
that's
videos.
amazing.
Yeah, for like 3 days, and it was intense. It was crazy.
Was it? No, I remember seeing a tweet that you tweeted after you got back, something about just like perspective of like things that you know, in your life that you like complain about or like, my life's so hard. But after you see that,
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's like a lot of places they will shut off the electricity for hours of the day, you know, and that would be ridiculous here. Nobody would stand for
Right.
that here, you know.
right. Dude, that reminds me, when I lived in, I was a missionary for my church, and I lived in Guyana in South America, and it was a lot like that, where they would turn off the power, and then the water would be off, and we had there was
a specific time schedule.
there was no running water. You had a pump, and you would pump the water up to a tank above your house, and then gravity would bring the water into your house, and you had to time when the water was on and when the power was on. So sometimes the water was on, but the power wouldn't be on, so you couldn't pump it up to the top of your roof. It was we went like 4 days once without showering or
It makes
washing
a lot
dishes.
of other things seem very unimportant when your
Yeah.
basic necessities are like hard to get.
I complain when the channels take too long to change from one to the other.
That's
you know?
true. That's
But
so
why does it
annoying.
take so long? Seriously.
I know, my
With all
life
the
is hard.
technology, It's like,
Oh,
I want to go to
first world
ESPN
pains.
3 to ESPN Ocho in a split second. I don't want it to be like,
know.
searching for your satellite signal. That was a good one,
Oh my
Craig.
goodness.
That's actually something that I concern myself with because there's supposed to be like a huge earthquake right now in California.
Sorry about that.
What? Why am
Welcome
I here?
to California. No, there's this guy that I follow on Twitter, and then some people have tweeted me today, but apparently he like does, and earthquakes are unpredictable. You're not
Unpredictable.
You're not allowed to predict earthquakes. No, you're not. It's not a thing. They don't have that technology yet where you can predict earthquakes.
So
but,
basically, he's wrong every time, though.
Well, he has been right sometimes based on some graphs
many
that he has.
times?
I don't know, babe.
You need to calculate these things.
She freaks out every time I bring this up. But there's like these graphs, and like it's according to geothermal, things, and if they all like get to this certain point, there's like a likelihood that there's an earthquake, and there's supposed to be like a 7.5 in the next like 18 hours.
What?
Thanks, babe.
Is that for real?
Yeah,
Are you
serious.
making this up?
No, I'm serious.
A 7.5.
Yeah, that's
According
a big
to
one.
this guy that predicts them, that never is right.
He's right sometimes.
He's never right.
I'm about
Who is this
Sorry
guy?
if you're
Who is
listening,
this
you're
guy?
not right.
He's called Quake Predictions on Twitter.
Quack predictions.
Yeah,
more
there
like
you-
it. Oh.
But if you're right, then I will eat my words as I'm running.
You might have to
for
because
my life.
there might not be anything else to eat. But I think about that. I think, do we have enough water? Because I drink a lot of water. I like to wake up and have like a big old drink of water. And I think if there was like an earthquake and we're short on, stuff.
On water?
I would, just like anything, I'd be like, we have to like ration the water. And if I have
We
to like
would. We would have to
fist
ration
fight
everything.
baby tard for the last cup of water.
You would
it's
take it?
Of course I would.
Shay
The strong must
Carlos.
survive.
Wow.
The strong.
And
Wow.
now we know who is the better parent.
Yeah.
It's clearly me.
I've already eaten.
I'm a better parent. I don't even have kids. Wow.
Oh, Craig. So
Wait, I want to
okay,
say I've
okay.
never experienced an earthquake.
we've only had one. We've lived in LA for 3 years and we've only felt one. And I still.
And it was still scary.
I'm still a
Yeah.
little like shooken up about it. Whenever I feel like a little shaking at all, I'm like, my ears perk up. My earthquake ears are like,
Yeah.
huh? Because it's freaky. It's like it's a weird sensation. But yeah, I'd never had one until like, how long ago was that one that we were in?
It was right when we came back from our trip for Labor Day.
Labor Day.
I
And
think
it
it
was
was Labor
only
Day
a
trip.
3.3. It was a
Yeah.
small one.
Yeah.
And still it was like, I remember jumping up. I was like in my athletic
We were
stance.
both like that. Like, what
And
do
we
we
like
do?
still like, what do I do?
Go
What do
get
I
the
do?
kids?
I was like ready to like tackle somebody. It was weird. It was
Yeah.
scary.
What do you do in that situation? You're supposed to go to like the doorway? Is that a
Well,
is that a
see,
real thing?
That's what they say, but now there's like this new theory of like the triangle of life, because it says like if things fall, you're supposed to get like next to a table, because if something falls, a lot of times they've showed in these studies after earthquakes that there's always this like triangle of space next to an object that things fall on. So instead of getting under the table, you're supposed to get like right next to the table.
That sounds weird.
But I don't,
Yep.
I think the outside
Nobody
is the
really
I'd
best
knows
place.
probably
for
just
sure.
run.
Yeah,
I'd
like,
run, I'd
Or
run
just
away
start
Just run.
screaming.
from everything.
Yeah.
There's a building, run away. Oh,
Yeah.
there's another building. And run
It's
away.
all falling, and there's like potholes opening up, and you're like
And I,
leaping.
On
and I have
that
the camera
note-
rolling. For
Of
sure.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as we're filming it, doesn't matter what we do. As long as we get the footage.
That's good footage. You kidding me? Think about like afterwards when everybody like wants to see what happened. If you have the footage that's rolling,
It's true.
yeah,
We're such vloggers.
we're such YouTubers.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about YouTube. So Craig, Wheezy Whitehour, how long have you been making videos now? It's been years.
It's been like 5 years.
5 years?
But like 2.5 as my job.
Right.
Like solely as my job.
What did it? What finally like made it officially your job? Did your subscribers get up and high enough, or what finally put it over the edge?
Yeah, eventually I was making the same amount of money I was making at my day job. So,
As a waiter, right?
well, no,
Or did you do something?
I was a waiter first when I started making the videos, and then the videos led to an office job because friends of mine were working at this internet company, and they're like, "Hey, our friend does video. We need a video guy." So I got a job in an office, and that was really soul crushing.
Yep.
Office work. It's kind of soul crushing. I eventually kind of liked waiting tables more than
Yeah.
the office job. So then I made videos in the morning before going to work. I'd get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, which is
Oh my goodness.
Early.
early for me. Now I don't know if it's early for you guys.
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
early.
You guys seem like you're always awake to me. But yeah, and I would do the videos for like a couple hours, go to work, and as I was doing them every weekday, it grew and grew until I was able to just quit the job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell us, what was the first, like, why did you start a YouTube channel in the first place?
Because I've always wanted to get into filmmaking or production, entertainment industry in some way, but I was in Chicago and waiting tables and doing stuff with the band, and there was really no other option. So it was like, I can do that. I have these skills. I went to school for radio, television, film. So I thought I'll just put stuff up for free and see what happens.
So were
Yeah.
you more interested in like the production side of it or the acting comedy side? Because you're hilarious.
Well, thank you.
You are. It's true.
I was really more interested in the production. I was like, I never considered myself a comedian or an actor at all, but I needed someone to do it, so I did it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, from lack of resources, like I need an actor. Well, then you've hired basically, you've created a whole cast of characters through your clones. What?
Well, those are real. The clones
I
are
know,
real.
I know.
Yeah.
You've hired them. Like
Right.
you have a clone factory because you kill them every day.
I do.
If you guys have never seen a Wheezy Waiter video, he does have clones. So you should go check it out.
That alligator's gonna
And they're
be
all crazy.
fat.
I'm actually a clone right now. I'm podcast clone.
Oh, man. We wanted the
Yeah.
real one.
I wanted Craig with a wig, but we couldn't book him. He was way too busy.
All of us clones actually think there is no real one. It's just he's a rumor. There's no real.
He's a
Craig.
rumor.
He's in a clone creating facility somewhere. What I was going to say is we've talked about this a couple times about, because moving out to LA, I don't know how that became, because as a YouTuber, you don't need to be anywhere really, like because of the internet and its availability all across the globe for most parts. You can be a YouTuber anywhere, but there's this like mass exodus of YouTubers who moved out to LA, which I think we might have been like the first ones like 3
Thanks
years
for
ago.
starting.
Some of the first
that.
I know. When we started Maker Studios, that was kind of like, well, you need to move out here to California so we can start this business together with Lisa and Danny. And so that's been like 4 years ago we moved out here. And then it's like all these YouTubers started moving out to California. And I've talked to you. I'm like, you got to move out to California, dude. And you're kind of like, you're based in Chicago. You love it in Chicago. What holds you there? It's your band mostly, isn't it?
It is. It has been for the most of the time that I've been in Chicago. Right now, it's still my favorite city in the country.
Yeah.
And China, my girlfriend's going to school there, and she's here in the studio somewhere.
Hi, China.
Hi, China.
Hi, China.
China is a lovely young lady. How did you get
She is
her,
beautiful.
She is
Dude?
beautiful.
She's way more beautifuler than you are.
I know. I'm jealous of her beauty.
Which leads me to my next question. You know what I'm going to ask you, right? When are you going to get married and have kids?
Well, I don't really want to talk about that right now.
China, will you marry Craig?
Shay likes to create
You just
awkward
proposed?
moments.
Let's
for me?
just do this real quick. Will you? You'll do it? Okay. In the spring, let's plan a spring wedding. Okay. Perfect.
You're live right
Oh,
now.
wow.
You're
She's
so
on
mean.
China's
camera.
live. You're
Look
live.
how
China,
fabulous
she's
she looks
so
against that
hot.
couch.
Yeah.
Look at, she looks great. Oh, you just dropped your phone. So beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're not.
Couch cam. We have a couch cam.
We're not trying to make you run away, but that might happen.
But as far as Chicago goes, someday I'll probably move away from Chicago,
Yeah.
and maybe LA might
Yep.
happen.
Yep.
I think the best thing for me about LA is the weather.
Yes,
Like China and I
that
were
so
just
nice?
saying, it's like 3 degrees in Chicago right now, and
Yeah.
the same as Idaho.
It is. That is the best thing. That's my favorite thing. That the most tempting thing to move to LA is the weather. I
yeah.
think, and the mountains are cool. Where I'm from, it's flat, completely flat. We don't have planes to build tables. We just put stuff on the ground because it's perfectly level. It's I remember the first time when the band drove out west.
Because you guys did a whole road trip.
We've done it a lot now, but the first time was like we didn't even have the radio on. We were just looking out the window like at mountains. That's the first time I'd ever driven out. I was in Colorado once before that, but like driving through it, just like, oh my God, why didn't anyone tell me about this?
Big mountains of dirt. Because I remember watching when I very first found out that you had a band. You did like kind of like a daily vlog with your band when you guys were going from city to city, and they had this funny bit where one of your band members was like, he was like throwing his sleeping bag,
Yeah.
like at every location, be like, okay, and then you just like, would he throw his sleeping bag and then run there, or
Yeah.
he'd just like
Yeah.
get in the van and then catch the sleeping bag in the different?
There wasn't
city?
enough room for his bag in the
Oh,
van,
right.
so he would throw it and then run and and catch it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that was really funny. That's one thing that Craig is always good at, is just like funny little weird quirky things that he adds into his videos. It's like, how did you think about that? You know what I mean? Like they have this giant like 16 passenger white van, and he has this like tiny little sleeping bag, and it's like, oh, we're loaded up, there's no room for your sleeping bag, and he's like, I'll just throw it. So they're like going from, like wherever, Cleveland to Minneapolis, and he just chucks it, and that's the end of the video. And then the very first of the next video is him like running and catching it in Minneapolis, like by the "Welcome to Minneapolis" sign or whatever.
That's Sam. He's quite a runner. He is quite the athlete. Quite the athlete. So how long have you been in the band for? We've been a band for since 1999. So like,
wow,
Long time.
Yeah, I mean different forms though. In the beginning, we were very different and we're terrible. But
they've gotten actually
you
worse.
love it.
As
we've
they've
gotten
gone
worse.
on.
Yeah. About like 13, 14 years.
And
yeah.
your music is
awesome.
in My Music, the Fine Brothers show.
Yeah, the intro song.
Intro. Yeah.
What are you offering? That song.
Are you offering? Is it free?
Yeah, that's my lovely voice.
Is that? And you would never know that Craig is a singer.
Well,
Yeah.
I try to be.
He's
anyway.
great. And then you guys have performed at like VidCon and Playlist Live and different stuff like that. Are you guys performing this year at any of the events?
VidCon, we are likely to be performing, but Playlist we're not performing.
Not performing. Are you going to be at Playlist?
I'm going to be at Playlist.
Dude,
Yes.
isn't it going to be crazy this year? Don't you think? It just
Yes.
keeps getting bigger and bigger every year.
It's scary.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
scared.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So a couple things I wanted to ask you is I was watching. Okay, so you have 4 channels. You have Wheezy Waiter, which are like, how would you describe what they're like little mini movies, like little stories. How would you describe like what your Wheezy Waiter videos are?
It's always a hard one.
Right.
I would say it's like a one-man variety short. I don't know. It's like but it's I tell people it's a documentary of my life.
Of your life.
That's what it is. But I don't know, it's sort of like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
It's like a cross between Pee-wee's Playhouse and Mr. Rogers. I don't know.
That's
Something
a
like,
very strange cross.
yeah.
But you always have something informative too, like you like in news today and like in science news, and then he just goes on these little stories, these little like 3-minute storylines where it's like, where's he going with this? And they're always hilarious. So you have a Wheezy Waiter, then you have a daily vlog that you've been doing for 6 months now.
Yeah.
What do you like doing daily vlogs?
I do like it. I try to make sure that I'm not shooting a lot because it'll take too long to edit later. So I try to make sure it's not hard work. Otherwise, I might stop doing it.
Right.
And it's really nice because on days when I'm not putting up stuff on Wheezy Waiter or my other channels, I don't feel bad because I could put up a daily vlog.
At least you put up a
Right.
video. Does your audience say like, we want your daily vlogs to be longer? Do you get that at all? Like where they want them to be longer? Or they're used to that length?
Sometimes they'll say it's longer, but I think most people generally like the 5-minute length.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
you have your main channel and then the vlogs, and then you have an iPhone channel, the Always Wheezy.
Yep.
Is that right? Where you just kind of do quick.
Yeah. Well, lately it's evolved into like different playlists. Like one is the Road to Perfect playlist.
I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about that. The
Yeah.
video you just made the last one you just made is about being honest
Yeah.
with other people and with yourself.
Yeah.
So what do you mean the road to perfect? Do you think that you can become perfect?
Well, that you really can't become perfect, and I say that in the videos, but it's just kind of like, inspiration videos, like videos about just how to not suck as a human being.
Right.
Basically. And then the other one is Wheezy Wacting, which is acting lessons, which I have 3 out now, and it's going to be a 378 part series. So,
Be sure to tune in for that.
yes.
No, I love that stuff. Like the other one, not the wacting, the truth. Becoming perfect.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. When you get down to it, it's like we're all humans and we're all like searching for the same thing, which is to be happy. And I feel like that pursuit of perfection is an honorable thing to pursue. And you cannot become perfect in this life, but you have to try. I think you have to make a conceited effort to become better. And then I get
Be
people
the best you can be.
Well, people in the comments like, well, why do you want to change? Just love who you are. Well, you can love who you are, but if you wet the bed, you should try to overcome that.
Yeah, and if you like to punch people in the face, you should probably not do that.
But that's
Right.
just who I am. Can't I just love
The
who
way
I am?
Just love me for who I am.
I like what you said
Instead of
about
punch you in
being
the face.
about being honest, because a lot of times I feel like people aren't able to do that. Like where you're able to honestly ask yourself, like, do I have a problem with you know, what you said in the vlog, do I sleep too much? Do I drink too much? Do I maybe eat too much? And sometimes I feel like people lie to themselves, like, oh, it's okay. But are you able to like, listen, self, you know, like in those moments of personal alone time, like, how are you doing on this? You know, and being able to be that devil's advocate for yourself.
I know, and that's a very hard thing to do. And I think in the video I say that you should be honest with everyone all the time,
Right.
and then it'll help you to be honest with yourself.
Right.
Because if you have the habit of lying all the time, you'll probably lie to yourself.
About little things
Yeah.
too, just like dumb little things. Yeah. And then it's like you get in that rat race of like trying to remember what lie you told to like keep the lie, you know, going and stuff. Another thing I want to talk to you about is this is a video. A girl made this video last night, and maybe we should pull it up. But she was talking about this concept of YouTubers. Sometimes their audience they feel like they owned that YouTuber. Like, do you ever get comments where it's like, "We got you to where you are. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be where you are if it weren't for us." And where, you know, like, you know, mainstream actors and like Hollywood movie, TV actors, they just do whatever they create, and it's like you just get what you get.
Yeah.
But with our audiences, it's like we have such a closer relationship. They sometimes feel like they own us in a sense. Do you feel like that happens sometimes?
Well, as a clone, I am owned already.
That is true.
But
that is true.
No, I sort of feel that. I think with with non-YouTube celebrities, they don't have the stream of comments with everything that they do.
Right.
Right.
But I'm sure they get that when they talk to people in person, probably a little bit. You know, the crazed fan.
Right.
You know? But I feel that a little bit, but I don't think I've changed much since I started. So I don't. People they don't feel like they need to call me out on things. You know.
Right.
So for me, it's not a whole big problem, but I can understand that feeling of being owned. But I think it's good to try to, for those, do you feel owned, Shay?
I don't know. Sometimes, like, I mean, not all the time, because I think we just do what we want to do. But it is definitely like you feel that
You
sometimes
feel
in
the
the
pressure to
comment.
make sure you're creating what people want.
Right.
And, you know, like as a parent too, being out there as a parent on YouTube, like whenever we do something that maybe somebody doesn't agree with and we hear about it, then I stress about it. Like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. I need to be a better parent, you know? So I think being owned in that sense, like having to be pleasing to
And sometimes-
a mass amount of people.
Do you ever, as a YouTuber, like as you're saying something, as something's coming out of your mouth, you are reading the comments corresponding to what you're saying at the moment?
Like I can predict what they're gonna say.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah, I do that all the time.
as you're like saying something, you're like, oh, as I'm saying this, I can already read the comments that
Yeah.
are gonna come because of what I'm saying.
I always try to make sure that they can't possibly pick up any sexual innuendo or something from what I'm
Right.
saying. And sometimes I'll do that on purpose just because I think it's funny. But usually I'm trying to make sure that they don't go in a different direction.
Right.
But yeah,
That's smart.
well, I try to do that anyway. For you guys, I think it's harder. You're vlogging your life,
Right,
like a lot more
right.
than I am, I think, and you have to be, and you're raising kids, I guess. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like I just turn the camera on and turn it off. You know, it doesn't really matter as much, and I kind of like when people think I'm a weirdo.
Yeah. No, that is, I mean, because like when we started, we weren't vlogging, we were doing little skit videos, but we've kind of like made this transition where like the main focus of what we do are these daily vlogs. And so it is like we're under a microscope, I think, sometimes, and we get criticism on everything. You know, everybody's an expert on anything we do. Like, your kid shouldn't be sitting like this, or, you know, really, you know, Rocktard should be talking by now. He's probably, you know, developmentally delayed. He's 2.5. He should be, you know, he should have fuller sentences than that. And it gets hard where it's like, oh man, we can't do anything without getting criticized a little bit.
That reminds me of when I started. Well, I jog in my daily vlogs, and I don't know anything about exercise. I just thought, you know, I should just start, and that's probably the best thing you can do. But it's really discouraging when you have a series of criticisms about how you're doing it.
Right.
It's like, well, maybe I shouldn't start, you know. But you just got to ignore it. Like I'll get people saying I should run longer, I should run shorter, I should go to a gym instead, or but if you nitpick all that stuff, you're just not going to want to do anything.
Right.
Right.
You know?
That is, I've found that on the internet, like more than almost any topic, is when it comes to like physical fitness, everybody is an expert.
Everybody's an expert.
My son recently just said that he's going to not have sugar for a year, and there was serious comments in the video that were saying, Suntar needs to have a little bit of candy or else his glucose will go down and that'll be unhealthy for him. It's like, no, you can survive without ever having candy
I love
or pop.
that excuse though. My glucose is low, honey.
You need some Starburst.
I need these white chocolate covered Oreos.
Have these Skittles.
Right now.
You're in danger of being unhealthy.
I just eat bowls of glucose. It's delicious.
Have you had your bowl of glucose today, young man?
No, I have
You
not.
get in there and finish that bowl of glucose. You're going to be grounded. So what's next for you? What do you like? You're making the videos. Like, are you trying to get into bigger projects? Like, do you want to get into more mainstream acting or?
I don't really necessarily have a desire to be in mainstream acting. I think if I lived in LA, I might do some casting calls, see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm more right now. I'm going to be doing a bigger project on another channel. I'm starting another channel.
Another channel.
Yeah.
What have you announced what the channel is yet?
I have not.
This is the super secret project.
It is it's the project. It's the secret project because I wrote it down without an R on the whiteboard in a video. So it's the secret project. And but it is going to involve a crew of people that I've assembled in Chicago and getting some funding from people, so it's not just out of my own pocket. It's going to be weekly themed videos. So
Okay.
I haven't gone into much more detail than that. Like there'll be a theme and there'll be 5 videos around that theme, and it'll happen every other week or so.
That's awesome.
When
I'm
is it
excited.
launching?
March 4th is the first week.
That's the day before my birthday.
Oh, that's why.
You didn't want to ruin my birthday.
Yeah.
You don't want to upscale me on my birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. So have you guys been like getting episodes? Do you have like things in the can?
No,
as they
well,
say?
we have a bunch of videos planned, and then we're going to be shooting in February. And it's the first week is just kind of the test week. We're not actually going to start the whole series until after we see what happens after the first week.
See how people react.
Yeah.
So are these anybody we know? Anybody we know going to be in these? Are these?
I don't want to. There's a possibility of some.
What are their names?
Shay.
Carl.
It's my job as a host to try to get as much information. Out of
There's a possibility of getting people that, but I don't want to say because I don't want to disappoint if we don't get them.
Right.
Right.
Might be able to get Hank Green in a video. And
Did you hear that, Hank Green?
Hank.
Aren't the Vlog Brothers the best?
They are the best.
They're like
Just the best.
they're the best.
I love the Vlog Brothers.
Around.
They helped me a lot when I was starting, actually.
Right.
So.
No, I think I maybe found out of you because of them. I think
Yeah.
they might have given you. I mean, there's all these like little factions, of like people that like kind of like hang out together, and I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I was watching one of their videos and they were like kept talking about you. I think maybe even like I heard about you. I was gonna say maybe Philip DeFranco mentioned you once.
He did.
Yeah.
But I think you knew about me before that. Probably from the Vlog Brothers.
Yeah, from the Vlog Brothers. What was your big first shout out that like helped get you those first subscribers?
I don't know if you have heard of Corporal Cadet on YouTube.
I feel like I have.
He's from New Zealand. I was promoted on this website, YouTube Reviewed. It was like a blog.
Right.
You remember that?
Yes, I do.
I don't. It doesn't exist anymore. But I sent them a message about my videos, and they promoted me on a page. Corporal Cadet saw it, tweeted, and then the next day I had like 97 emails. And,
Right.
That's awesome.
And then that's how the Nerd Fighters found me, and then that's how I found out what a Nerd Fighter was.
Right.
And then I sent the Vlog Brothers a message through YouTube, and John Green happened to be checking his messages, and he checked out my videos. And
Wow.
No way.
it just slow build from there. Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't happen very often anymore.
No, it
Just because
doesn't.
there's so many that come to your inbox.
I know I think it's a lot harder now. I don't know if
Right.
I'd be able to do it now.
That's a good question because I've often thought that like if knowing everything that I know now, if I had to start over, like if everybody forgot who Shay Carl was, like memories were erased.
I
And
barely know who you are.
Yeah, right. And I had
already
to start
happening.
over. Could I, recreate what I've created? I feel like I
don't
couldn't.
know.
I feel like it would be really tough.
It would be a lot harder. It takes a lot longer. It doesn't seem like subscriber growth happens
Right.
as
Right.
quickly.
Well, the ocean is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
There's a lot more eyeballs on YouTube. There's a lot more content creators.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to wrap it up. I'm burping up my apple.
So I have one more question. Where did the Wheezy come from?
He has
I have
asthma.
asthma.
Way to bring it up. That's a
Yeah.
touchy subject.
It's Wheezy
I'm
with an H, though. I see on
sorry.
your board. You don't know. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
spelled
easy.
wrong.
do you still have asthma? Because I had asthma too, but it was like something that would like come and go. Like every 4 years, it seemed like.
No, I've always had asthma, and I still have it. I use Advair, which is a nice inhaler that lasts like 12 hours, and
it's good.
and it's fine. I forget that I have asthma because of it, but
So does the running like aggravate that?
yeah, it makes it a little worse, especially in the cold.
Yeah.
But with the Advair, it's usually fine.
Cool.
This episode sponsored by Advair, a 12-hour relief of your asthma conditions. All right, thanks to Craig Wheezy Waiter. Check out all of his links for his channels. Quirky hilariousness.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna love them.
I love his sense of humor because I'm like this sense of humor. It's like right in your face, but he's just like kind of like deadpan and like just really witty stuff and just
Sweeps the
slides
rug right out from under
slides it right into your comedy
It's so
bone, and
funny.
you're like, oh, that's funny and quirky. I'm gonna subscribe.
Thank you, Shay.
You're welcome, Craig. Be sure. See how funny he is?
We just flipped on the sexy
Check
switch.
him out. Oh yeah.
That was Pillsbury Doughboy again.
Check him out.
Totally
Links
sexy.
below. Thanks for joining us right here at Maker Studios in
Thank
Los
you.
Angeles.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kids go to sleep.